wanted to do a quick video to show you how to do the correlation coefficient on the TI 83/84 calculator. So if you can look at the homework notes, I'm going to look at number 6. This is the example that Dr. Darwala showed you the correlation. She did do a scatter plot here and crunch it for you guys to see. You can see this linear trend. So what I want to show you is down on the next page, she shows you here how to find the correlation and crunch it. But I think somebody had asked me how to do that on the calculator. So I want to show you that. So let's go back up here to the data. And what we're going to do is put that in our calculator. Okay. So anytime you're putting data into your calculator, you want to turn that on, obviously. Oops, sorry, let me clear that out. Okay. And if I haven't told you guys this already, my favorite button is always stat. That's where I'm going to put data into the calculator. And then this first one here is edit. That's where we're going to put it in. So we just hit enter. And it gives us these lists. And this is where we're going to put our data in. So we typically put the explanatory variable in L1. So we're going to go ahead and put the data in. So we have 29, enter. 40, enter. 54, enter. 55, enter. And then 72. Okay. Now in L2, we're going to put the percent deforestation. So we have 0.49, enter. 1.59, enter. 1.69, enter. 1.82, enter, and 3.10. Okay, so what we want to see is the correlation coefficient. Well, on the calculator, it's also going to give you the regression equation, which we talk about in the next chapter. I think it's chapter 4. So just keep this in mind when we get to the next chapter as well. So I'm going to do, in order to get out of the list, we do second quit. See this right here above the mode key? All right, we're going to go back to my favorite button, stat. This time we're going to go over to calc. So we arrow over with the right arrow. Okay, and then we're going to arrow down here to number 4. It says linreg, that's linear regression, ax plus b. What it's going to give you is an equation as well, but this should also give you the correlation coefficient. Now, there is something in the calculator we have to turn on in order for it to work, but I'm going to go ahead and show you this. Let's just hit enter. And it's going to default to L1 and L2, but the newer calculators will ask you to put in L1 and L2, and we could type it in here. The L1 is above the 1 key, so we could do second L1, comma, second L2. Now your newer calculators will ask you for that, so we just hit enter. Okay, now what this gave me is the regression equation, okay, and usually down below it'll say r and r squared. Now if yours did, great. Mine didn't. So if yours didn't, what we have to do is what's called turn the diagnostics on, and we only have to do this once. Once you do this on your calculator, it will stay on. Okay, so we're going to go to the catalog button. See that above the 0 key? I'm going to do second 0. And I'm just going to arrow down to diagnostics on. Okay, again, once you do this, you don't have to remember this part because it'll stay on. Hit enter. Enter again, it'll say done. Are you with me? All right, I'm going to go back into stat, over to calc, down to linreg. And I'm going to hit enter. Now it defaults to L1 and L2. Okay, now see, instead of just the A and B, it also gave me r squared and r. So r is my correlation coefficient. R squared is the coefficient of variation. The correlation coefficient, 0.9551, okay, is telling me the strength. And it's positive, so as we saw here, it was a positive slope, right? Positive correlation. And here she has 0.9556. Is that what I got? I got 0.9552. So I'm off a little bit with rounding with what she had. Okay. But it's still a very, very high correlation coefficient. The closer it is to 1, it's a very strong linear relationship. What the coefficient of variation tells us, it basically just tells us 91% of the variation in the percents is explained by the coffee price. So the remaining about 9% is unexplained. Okay, let me know if you have any questions on this.